name is Sarah, and I am going to be reading to you a little book today called Scribble Stones. This book is written and illustrated by Diane Alber, so that means that it was written and drawn by the same person, which is really awesome to see. And Diane Alber is actually a mom of 2 kids, and she decided to start writing books for her children and for other children that could kind of really have a feeling for what these books mean and kind of connect with it, I guess. So I'm just going to go ahead and start reading this to you guys. So right over here, when you first start, it just shows a little bit about the different stones. They have different faces, different smiles, different colors. And also in the beginning, it kind of tells you a little bit about what this book is. And one really nice thing about this book is that when you go inside, you can write your name here. So right here it says, "This book belongs to," and you can actually write your name so it will belong to you. This page right here, it says, "To my children Ryan and Anna, who love to play with a giant stone pile in the background, which inevitably inspired this story." So Diane actually wrote this story for her kids, Ryan and Anna, and this is kind of a picture of them. And she just says that they inspired the story for her to write it. So this is the first 2 pages. The first page says, "This story is about one happy stone, who was gray and round and rarely alone. He lived with the others all stacked in a pile and waited calmly with a large, friendly smile." So this is the little stone that she's talking about. And this right here is the pile with all the stones, and here's the little stone with its big smile. Each stone had a purpose, but it wasn't known yet. Some would be landscaping and some a stone pet. There were so many things that the stones could be. The hardest part was just waiting to see. So here are all the stones right here. And right here it shows you the different things the stones can be. So this one can be landscaping. This one can be a little stone pet, which is really cute. But it does say that the hardest part was waiting to see what the stones would be. This is a big book, so it's hard to keep everything together. Stone knew that his purpose would brighten someone's day. He just wasn't sure or in what kind of way. He imagined the things that he might soon become as he watched all the stones get picked one by one. But his happy face slowly turned to a frown as he watched the tall pile start to dwindle on down. And although he was worried, he tried not to care until it was clear he was the last one there. So right over here, it shows all the little stones, and the pile is getting smaller and smaller. And we have stone right at the top right here, which is the smiley stone that we saw at first. So the pile is getting smaller and smaller, and he's trying to keep up a happy face, but at the end, he's the last one there. So he's a little sad, and he's not understanding why he hasn't been picked yet. Then it finally happened. Stone was quickly picked up. He was placed on a desk next to a very large cup. So this is Stone right here, all excited, and he got picked up and put on a lot of paper, and the cup is right here. As Stone looked around, he thought, "This is so great," but he soon discovered he was a dull paperweight. "I'm supposed to bring happiness, not hold paper still. There must be a mistake. This can't be my skill." So right over here we see Stone a little sad that he is kind of just holding paperweight, but I don't don't know. Do you think that's not an important job? I feel like we'll find out. And I think, what do you think? Do you think it's important or not? Then, all of a sudden, a splatter flew by. And then some bright scribbles came wiggling by. They were headed right toward the short paper stack, and they filled up the paper on the front and the back. So here are all the splatters coming by, and here is Stone right here. He looks a little scared, so we'll see what happens. They were all making art. It was happening so fast. Stone feared that the paper would simply not last. This is so beautiful. You can see all the colors and all the splatter. They're all coming by and kind of throwing themselves all over the paper and making beautiful, beautiful art. He couldn't believe just how much the pile grew. Then he heard a small cry from the fun splatter crew. We knew that this pile was getting too tall. There is no more paper. We have used it all. The scribbles all cried. They now saw it too. This is a disaster. Oh, what will we do? Here is the huge pile that they started stacking up, and the splatters are all worried and they don't know what to do. What do you think is going to happen? Let's see. Stone didn't want the scribbles to cry, so he thought of something that they all could try. He slowly rolled down the very large pile and said, I know how to make you all smile. I know I'm not a paper, but I like art too. Do you think you could spare some red, yellow, and blue? So here's Stone coming down the pile, and he of course doesn't want to see them sad, so he had a bright idea. What do you think the idea could be? Let's see. They loved the idea and could not wait to start. Scribble began making a happiness heart. Splatter then painted some pale baby blue. Another scribble added a sunny golden hue. It didn't take long before more stones showed up, and soon the land grew behind the large red cup. So you can see here that the splatter are actually coloring Stone. And right here, a bunch of Stone's friends decided to come, and more splatters were coloring them too. How cute is this? It's beautiful. The little heart is right there. Here's the golden sun, and then just a lot of different hues. To Stone's surprise, he was picked up once more. He had never heard of this happening before. More art was added and he was on his way to become a small gift to brighten someone's day. So right here you can see Stone, and he's actually being picked up again by someone else, and they're saying that this has never happened before, which is very, very exciting. And you have Splatter right here adding a little bit more to Stone, and they put a little bow right here to kind of make him a little gift for somebody else. Nearby, another Stone's journey had begun. He was spreading such happiness and having great fun. Every time he traveled, someone added their part. Sometimes just a scribble, sometimes fancy art. So here is another Stone that decided to have a bunch of different splatters just kind of add different colors and pictures to him. So he was traveling around, and every time he went somewhere, he just let whatever splatter wanted to draw on him draw. Look at this, such a pretty picture. With each new layer, there was a story to share, and soon scribble stones were seen everywhere. They traveled the planet. It was quite an event, bringing happiness and fun wherever they went. So we have right here a little picture of the world, and you can see that all the stones with their splatter and pictures on them are traveling around the world, bringing happiness and fun to all the different children and parents and houses around the world. Now, thousands of stones inspire creativity each day, all because of a paperweight with a will and a way. So right here, we have all of the stones with all their beautiful pictures and colors, and they're so excited and happy. And we have stone right here with all of his colors, and it says that these stones are inspiring creativity each day. So they're inspiring children and parents and different areas around the world to be creative and have fun and enjoy life together. And then it says right here, all because of a paperweight with a will and a way. What do you think that means? So they're saying that stone right here, who was just a paperweight, had a will and a way. I think it means that no matter who you are, no matter what your job is, even if you're just a little paperweight stone that just is put down and you're just helping hold the paper, as long as you have a will and as long as you have an idea that you really want to follow and you really want to do what's best for yourself, for your family, and really the world, I think that this means that you can go as far as you can. You can help so many different people be creative. You can change so many different things in the world, and it doesn't really matter how little or how big you are or how tiny or what your job is. You can do it yourself as long as you have the will and the way to do it. So that is actually the end of our story. And right over here, you can see all the different stones, the happy, the scared, the sad ones, but look at all their beautiful colors. And at the end as well, you kind of see Diane Alber and who she is, and it tells you a little bit of information about her and why she wrote this book. I did want to show you one other thing about this, and that one thing is this back right here. This back. It actually tells you that this is the book that we read, but it actually shows you all these different books that Diane wrote. One of them right here is Sticks, so it's about a pencil, and I think that's an ice cream pup. And just a stick from a branch. There's Snippets, Spots, Splatter. So Splatter might be a good one to read next if you're interested, and if you can read it with some friends or family. But Splatter is probably going to be about the little splatter paints that we just read about that helped Stone and his friends have paint all over them. So that would be a pretty cool and interesting book to read. But this is such a nice book because it tells you so much information. And another thing that I wanted to show you as well is you can actually take the little paper cover off of here. And if you can see, this is beautiful. It has all the different stones, and here's stone right here. And it actually tells you something that you can do right at home, which is super fun. So what it's saying is, I'll read it to you. Find a stone and add some art, a scribble, a splatter, or a happiness heart. Then give it away and let someone know that the scribble stone makes happiness grow. And then it just says scribble stones right down here. So what this is actually telling you to do, it could be a fun project that you do at home with your parents or your sisters or brothers, really whoever you want. But you can actually at home make your own scribble stones, which is super, super fun to do. And all you need are two things. You just need a stone from outside, and you need just some coloring pencils, some markers if you have some paint at home, and all you really do is you kind of find the rocks outside, and you come back inside or outside, whatever you can do at home, and you start drawing on the stones. You make hearts, you make sunshine, you make flowers, you just have different colors on it. But that's kind of a way to be creative at home without having to leave, and just drawing some on stones and making other people happy. So what you can do is that you can draw whatever you want on the stone, and if you're going out on a walk, if you're going out with your dog or your cat, or really just your family or some friends that you're further away from, you can actually leave the stones wherever you go. If you go on a walk to the park, and you can write something very nice on it. And what this is telling you is that if you leave the stone somewhere, you can actually make other people happy by what you're writing on the stone. So they call these kindness rocks or kindness stones, and it's something small that you can do during this time of us being home and being with our parents and our family. And if you want to walk, you can just leave a small little kindness stone around the area that you are. So I really hope you enjoyed this book. There are so many other books that you can read while you're at home, and I'm so glad I was able to read to you and participate with you, and hopefully you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great day.